Hello, good evening. So today we want to continue our multiplication and division in algebra. Now, given this expression, we are asked to simplify it. To simplify it, what we do is very simple. We know that each of these, this is a is an expression, this is an expression, this is an expression. This one is having a coefficient of 3, is having a coefficient of 4, and this is having a coefficient of 2, and the power of this one is 1 over 2, that of this is 3 all over 2, and this is 1 all over 4. So it has fractional power. So it's simple. What we are going to do, just as we explained earlier, is that we multiply the coefficients. While we do what, since they are multiplying, we now do what to the power, we add the powers. So it's gonna be 3 times 2, 3 times 4, then times 2. So this is the multiplication of the coefficients, while the power is going to be added. So we take one of the bases, which is x, then we add the powers. 1 all over 2 plus 3 all over 2 plus 1 all over 4. So we add the powers. So when we add the power, we know that these powers, they are fractional, and because they are fractional, it means when we want to add fractions, as we have dealt with fractions before, so we can easily find the LCM of the denominators of the fraction, and that is how we add fractions. So 3 times 4 is going to be 12, and 12 times 2 is going to be 24. So this one is resolved. While for the powers, we need to find the LCM, and the LCM is of course 4. And 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2 times 1 is going to be 2, plus, now 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2, and 2 times 3 is going to be 6, plus 4 divided by 4, that's 1. 1 times 1 is going to be 1. So at this point, all we are going to do is just add them together. 2 plus 6, that's 8, plus 1, 9 all over 4. So it's going to be 9 all over 4. So this is the final answer. You can see it's very simple. So this is example 2. Now, how do we solve this problem? Given this question, we are asked to simplify this. So to simplify, we know the coefficients. The coefficients are 3, 4, and 1 all over 2. So what do we do to them? We multiply them out. So it's going to be 3 times 4 times 1 all over 2. So that one is sorted out. Then the powers will be added. As we can see, we have two letters here. One is x, the other one is y. And since they are all multiplying, we add the powers. So it's going to be 1 all over 2 plus 1. Then y raised to power 1 all over 2 plus 1. That is, the power of x is half here. The power of x here is 1 here. The power of y is half, and the power of y here is 1. So we know that when nothing is written here, the power is 1. So when nothing is written at the top right hand of the letter, it means the power is 1. So we need to take cognizance of that. So this is now going to be simplified. 2 here 1, 2 here 2, right? So 3 times 2, that will be 6. X raised to power. Now, when we want to add a fraction and a whole number, the simplest way to go about it is to use these two to multiply the 1 here. That is going to be 2 times 1, 2, plus the 1 here is going to be 3 all over the 2. So it's going to be 3 all over 2. Then y raised to power. So this is also 2 times 1, that is 2, plus 1, that's 3 all over 2. So this is how we solve this problem, and this is our final answer. Simple. Okay, so looking at this expression, this is another example. So we want to solve this. So the first thing we need to do here is to multiply out the coefficients. So these coefficients, we multiply them out, then we now do what? Add the powers of the bases. So the coefficients are minus 4 times 3 times, that's this one. We need to convert it to improper fraction. 6 times 1, 6, plus 1, 7. So that'll be minus 7 all over 6. So that's that. Now, x, what is the power of x? The first power of x is what? 1 over 3. Here it is 1. So 1 all over 3 plus 1, because they are multiplying, we add the powers. Then y, what is the power? Then y is going to be 1 plus 1 all over 2 plus 1. So we add the power. So the power here is 1, the power here is 1 over 2, and the power here is 1. So once we have done that, we can cut if anything can cut. So 2 here, 1, 2 here, 2. So we are left with 2 times 7, that's 14. Minus times minus is going to be plus. So we are left with 14 here. And x is going to be, for this one, is going to be 3 times 1, 3, plus 1 is going to be 4 all over 3. Alright? So while this one is, of course, we know that these are whole numbers. So the two whole numbers can add first. So that will be 2 plus 1 all over 2. So that when we now see multiplication, when we now want to add a whole number and a fraction, we just say 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5 all over 2. So this is going to be 14 x raised to power 4 over 3, then y raised to power 5 all over 2. So this is the final answer. As you can see, it's very simple. So what we have done here is very simple, as you can see. So the basic thing here we have done is the coefficients, we multiply them, while the powers, we add them. Whether the powers are fractional or they are whole number, whatever power it has, we can still add them. So that is what this is about. Okay, let's see another example. Okay, now we want to look at another example. In this example, what we see here is that this is division instead of multiplication. Now we have division, and when we have division, it indicates that we do what to the powers, we subtract the powers. So which means we divide the coefficients, but we subtract the powers. That's what that means. So we do what? We divide the coefficients but subtract the powers. So this is now going to be minus 5 divided by 4 divided by 2. Now take that x. So this is going to be 3 minus 2 over 3 minus 1 all over 2. Are we good to go? So at this point, we know that when we have division, we can convert it to multiplication, right? So we invert the one on the right hand side, right? So that's going to be 5 times 1 all over 4, then times 1 all over 2. Then x raised to power. So now looking at this, we can find the LCM, and the LCM of course is going to be 6, because we know that the LCM is 3, is LCM of 3 and 2 is going to be 6. There's no common factor between them, so it's going to be the multiplication of the two numbers. So we say 6 divided by 1, because this is a whole number, we put it is the same thing as writing it as what? 3 over 1. So we now say 6 divided by 1 is going to be 6 times 3. That's going to be 18 minus, now 6 divided by 3 of course is going to be 2, and 2 times 2, that will be 4. And here 6 divided by 2 is going to be 3, and 3 times 1 is going to be 1. Yeah, right? 3 times 1, that's 3, right? So at this point, we will now do what? add the powers and multiply. If cutting is possible, we also cut. Well, as we can see from here, cutting is not possible, so we say 5 times 1 times 1, so that's going to be minus 5 all over 4 times 2, 8, and x raised to power 18 minus 4 minus 3 is going to be minus 7, right? So 18 minus 7 is going to be 11, right? So we have 11 all over 6. So this is going to be the final answer. Okay, now looking at this question, how do we resolve this? This is involving division and multiplication. So, and we have the coefficients. This is one coefficient, this is second coefficient, this is the third coefficient. Those three coefficients, they will come out. We separate them. 1 all over 2 minus 1 over 2 divided by, this is, we convert it to improper fraction. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3 all over 2. So divided by 3 all over 2. Now times minus 3 all over 2. So that one is sorted out. So the coefficients, we apply whatever sign we have between them, we apply it to them. Now the next thing is to now deal with the bases. We have two letters here. One is x, the other one is y. So the first base, which is x, we bring it out here. X is raised to power half here. So 1 all over 2. And then x is raised to power 2 here. And what is between them is division. So it's going to be minus 2. Right? Because it's division, so it's going to be minus. Okay. Now for the y, is going to be y raised to power 3 all over 2. So for this division here, so it's raised to the power of minus half here. So it's going to be minus, then minus half. You can see there are two minuses. So the first minus is coming from the division. Then each one is carrying its own minus already, which is this minus half. So that'll be minus minus. Then the third one is this y. So because this is multiplication between them, it's gonna be what? Plus. For multiplication, it's gonna be plus. You add the powers. For division, you subtract the powers. So that is how we are going to solve this. So the next thing we are going to do is to cut if cutting is possible. So at this point, what are we doing? So we have division here. We convert division to multiplication. So we say minus 1 all over 2 times 2 all over 3. This is multiplication. This one is multiplication. So we still write it as times, and we are not going to invert this because it's multiplication. So we now have this. So x raised to power. Now for this one, to add this together, we know this is a whole number and a fraction. So it's going to be 2 times 2. That will be 4. So that's 1 minus that 4. So that will be minus 3 all over 2. Then for this one, we are going to do what? Convert this one to minus times minus. That's going to be plus. So it's going to be 3 all over 2. Right? 3 all over 2 plus 1 all over 2 plus 2. So at this point, if cutting is possible, we'll cut 2 here 1, 2 here 1, 3 here 1, 3 here 1. Minus times minus is plus. So what are we left with? We are left with 1 1 1 at the top, then 1 1 2 at the Okay, so this is now going to be 1 all over 2, then x raised to power minus 3 all over 2. Then this is going to be y. If you look at these two fractions, you see that they have the same denominator. So what that means is that these two fractions can be added together. Denominators can be added together because they have common denominator. So this is going to be 3 plus 1 is going to be 4 all over 2 plus 2. This is 2, and 2 over 1 is 2. So 2 here 1, 2 here 2. So 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. So it makes it easier that way. So we now have 1 all over 2 x raised to power minus 3 all over 2, then y raised to power 4. So this is the final answer for this question. Thank you. Please click the notification bell and also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that when we drop more videos, you'll be notified.